Hey everybody, welcome back. This time it's not just NC-17 because it is the Halloween special. So it's going to be a crossover between NC-17 and movie recap with Josh. We're going to talk about some horror movies. We're going to have a few guests join us, and one is present. The other one will be here shortly, via, the highway internet stuff. Yeah. But anyhow, Halloween is my favorite time of year, mostly because I get to scare the hell out of my wife. She hates it when I scare her. But let's get right into it. Our first guest joining us right now, he just broke out of his cell. Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna introduce him now, and all the way from Gotham Asylum. Please welcome the Joker. How you doing, Joker?
Not so bad. Not so bad at this moment. Let me get comfortable here because I was just actually reading this book here.
Oh yeah, Super Horror Max by Walter Esselman.
Just got through the middle, because they toss these books out everywhere, especially where I'm at. So I didn't get to finish it because I had to get out unofficially. Well, I have to say, it's really intriguing.
Oh yeah.
Something that I'm pretty sure has been done before, but in a good way. This one has some smarts to it. And I love a person that puts a lot of smarts into their stuff. That's what I call crafty.
Oh yeah.
Very. I'm surprised they didn't turn this into a movie yet.
Hey, they might, and if they do, I'll be the first one in line to buy a ticket. Walter Esselman's one of the best people I know on God's green earth, and he's one of the most talented people.
So far, it is a read.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, I know. I get a lot of. They say, what do they do? They put you in a room. Quiet time.
Quiet time.
Quiet time. Brought me this.
All right. So we are about to.
It's a good read.
About to have our second guest join us. Everybody, this is Abby from Motor City Nerds. How are you doing today? Uh-oh. Can't hear you. Can you hear me? Yep. Can't hear you or see you. Oh, there. Oh shit. Hello. Oh, can't hear you. Okay. Yep. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Oh my God.
All right. So, everybody, this is Abby from Motor City Nerds. Please give her a follow on YouTube, Facebook, and I'm sure she's got other sites that she'll be able to plug. So, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? I got a little nervous because it was like you don't have Zoom downloaded, and I'm like, this better not take 5 hours.
Nah, it's all good.
So I'm excited to be here. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I'm excited to have you. I know we've talked in throughout the internet, but
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I'm glad you accepted the invite, because people don't have to, but when they do, I'm excited. So
no, I appreciate being asked, honestly. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
We got the Joker here with us too.
I love that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Just got caught up. into the book.
Well, I feel a bit like, I mean, I know you guys are really big horror buffs, and I think I'm a horror buff until I talk to horror people, and then I'm like, oh snap, like no, these
Too
are
much time.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be horror, but I am a horror fan. But what what was your favorite horror movie? Such a cliche, but what was your favorite horror movie and your least favorite horror movie?
oh my god, my favorite of all time.
Yeah, that's a heavy question.
Ooh, that is Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs was a good one. What you think, Joker?
Lecter. I met him.
Hannibal Lecter's my man. That's my main dude. But I'm like, I don't know if we want to call that more of a thriller. If we want to go just like scary horror, I'm partial to 28 Days Later.
Oh,
Psychologically, he is a good character. I do like the. I do love the perpetrator. A good choice that you have picked.
Oh,
You don't
thank
make
you.
movies like the person that gets into your mind. Have you watched the series?
I haven't, and I know people get really upset at that.
You you should definitely check out the series. I mean, with Mickelson. Oh,
Do you want to know what's funny about that? Like, are you guys Star Wars fans? I know we're going
yes.
to. I
once
the whole
upon a time.
back when Mandalorian was going, they're like, no, you got to get on this Thrawn character because he's like Hannibal Lecter times 10. And then Ahsoka comes out, and I'm watching. I'm like, this is Hannibal Lecter. I'm like, this is Hannibal Lecter right here on the series I didn't watch yet. And I'm like, I love this. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. Uh, what's funny about you saying Silence of the Lambs is, a lot of people when you say favorite horror movies, everyone's like The Shining or something that is just like out there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I had.
I'm a Stephen King junkie, so anything. I mean, even the bad ones, I love that too. But a least favorite. Ooh, I'm trying to think like what dropped the ball really hard. But then I'm like, but I still love things anyway, even when they do drop. That's the best thing about horror is like there's always something to still like about it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But oh man, least favorite. Hmm. It might have to be. Oh, I do think Rob Zombie started to drop the ball after a while with I didn't hate like the concept for Lords of Salem, but I remember being really disappointed by it.
I agree.
Yeah, where I was like, this had it had something going, but I don't know what we're doing here,
I
but
could never understand what was the torture that they had to do to her. What did they do? What did they cut out of her? Was it like a creature? It became like an abortion.
it became a bit like we got a lot going on here. And I don't, but I will say this was something that was really cool. I saw him perform the year it was coming out, and he was like, I'm going to surprise everybody. And he did play the first 20 minutes of the movie. So that was really cool of him to do. And I remember being really geeked for it. And then I was like, oh man, because I think House of a Thousand Corpses is the best thing he's done.
Oh yeah, hands down, hands down.
What did I say? The second one,
Really?
the rejects.
Do you guys remember like the hype around that?
Oh yeah.
Remember, like everybody was like, if your kid sees this, they're the worst. And I was like, I remember it was like a big thing for us to be like,
sold. I think what sold that. I think what sold the first one was the 7 years that it took a long time to come out.
Oh yeah,
and they were talking about cuts, and they had to cut it down to, and he had a hard time trying to find something to this well, what do you call that word? Distributed it.
Yeah.
And
no, that made part of like that made it part of the bad part of it too, though, where it's like not everybody's
controversy.
saying you got to find it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
rewatched. I'm sorry, guys. No, I rewatched House of Thousand Corpses like a week ago, and I think part of it is, and like probably why we all love it too, is that same vibe, the same vibe of like this feels like he made this work with a lot of basic stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
there's a lot of that weird shakiness and the weird transitions and zooming in on somebody 5 times, and it's like no, you could tell he was just like, I really like movies and I really like horror movies, and I'm gonna try it. And
he threw all the grind from the 70s into this movie. The explosion. I mean, I could still never get over the fact that even the guy, the priest, like it's true. It's true. I know the truth. And I said, I have not seen that since like Switchblade Sisters and all those kind of wrong, side attractions. I should know. But I'm telling you, he brought this movie out to the main media.
Yeah, he
Followed
made
it
it
up with a
happen.
part two. My
Excuse
thing
me.
is that I want to know what happened to Satan. So Dr. Satan in part two. They never they only
Well,
found the house.
his scene got cut. His scene got deleted
Doc,
because they originally went to. You've seen the deleted scene, right? For part two,
No,
that was rejected. All
not
right,
you didn't know.
spoiler. Sorry, spoiler alert. So Doctor Satan was in the hospital and he killed, and this is gonna break your heart, Rosario Dawson, who plays Ahsoka.
oh my, it all comes full circle.
That's right.
Oh, that's the thing too. I forget how many people are in that. I'm like, oh, man, dude, like, it's great. It is. And I mean the music, and that's the best song he has in it. That's a great song on its own. Is House of a Thousand Corpses, or well,
Oh, the
Devil's
beginning
Reject.
song.
Yep.
Yeah,
Here is the house.
but
Yeah.
man, I remember because I feel like that was another one too, where even if you weren't a horror fan, I remember people being obsessed with it and being like, "Oh yeah, no, this is great," blah blah blah. And then I think that's the best part about horror, though, is like, where do we draw the line of horror, and where do we go with like creature or whatever? Because now you guys got me really thinking about stuff. Like, but then again, like back to sorry to go off, but back to like that whole premise. That's like my worst fear is making a wrong turn or something and ending up in the backwoods with some family who knows the terrain way better than me. And it's like, I'm not going to get away. Even when you think you're away, you're not. And that's always a big creep factor for me.
Oh yeah. What's funny? Don't get no ideas with that pencil. But what's funny is like with horror movies, everyone's like, they love all the graphicness and everything like that. To me, it's more along the cinematography, the way they film the movies and stuff. Because let's face it, you can have all the blood and gore in a movie, but if you ain't filming it correctly, then it's just a useless point. You know?
Right. No, or if you don't know what you're doing, or if you don't like it, because it can be basic. I don't want it to come up like in any movie, something can be basic, but if you do it well, it makes a huge difference. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. What's funny though is like I was working at the movie theater when House of a Thousand Corpses came out, so I got a special sneak preview of it. I was the only person in the whole theater.
That's crazy. That's crazy to even think now. Like, that's insane.
Oh yeah. And then when part two came out, I'm a big movie buff. So when part two came out, I was working at the drive-in, and they actually had the Devil's Rejects playing right next to whatever cartoon. I think Toy Story 2 or 3. And I'm sitting there thinking like, that is not something you want to do. So,
Who planned this? Who
right?
planned this out?
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Well,
Uh,
that's the thing too. Like horror doesn't get. I mean, what was? I mean, The Exorcist and Signs of the Lambs. Like a lot of times, horror doesn't get acknowledged the way it should, and
oh
it's
yeah.
taking a long time for that to happen. Because like super movie people will be like, Signs of the Lambs is a thriller, and it's like, well, I mean, let's come on
It
now.
was a character study.
And it's just it's the same thing with superhero movies. I mean, who changed the game up? Joker, Dark Knight changed the game up for that. I mean, I'll die on the hill of Michelle Pfeiffer was robbed in '92 for at least not being nominated.
Oh hell yeah. Oh no, I agree with you on that one. Now we don't necessarily have to speak just horror movies. This could be like we could talk whatever movies. So
Okay,
the
that's
the
fair.
the thing is like now I do stick to the horror genre, but I'm eclectic when it comes to movies. So Batman, my wife is really big Beetlejuice and Hocus Pocus and stuff like that. So as we're sitting there watching them, and she refuses to watch a horror movie with me because I'll scare the hell out of her. But that's besides the point. But
Yes.
we were sitting there watching. I mean, I think I was the only grown adult that went to see Frozen 2 when it came out with her. So I'm sitting there
Right.
thinking like,
It's a trade-off. The trade-off.
oh yeah, but in some way, shape, or form, every movie can actually be turned in, whether it's Disney, whatever, can be turned into a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
let's take one of the classics, Wizard of Oz. When it first came out, it got banned in so many different states and cities because people were like, "This is too, fantasy and horror."
Never seen it.
You never seen the Wizard of Oz?
Ever seen The Wizard of Oz?
Oh, he's been locked up in Arkham. So
Man, you got to see Wizard of Oz at least once.
Oh, put that on my bucket list.
his favorite movie is Home Alone.
I mean,
You're kidding me, right?
He can't stand that movie.
Home Alone is kind of scary.
Yeah.
If it was a rated R.
Think
Well,
about that. Really think about the concept of Home Alone.
Home
If
Invasion.
it was a rated R movie, then sure, I'd give it.
Oh, I mean, you gotta look at it though. She's got a point. Home Invasion. Kid left by himself.
None of them.
Family in distraught.
I almost said a bad word there. None of them died.
Okay.
You get a brick slipped in your. Trust me, the only one who survived was Batsy when I hit him with bricks. Sitting there beating him with. I never watched it. But I'm locked up in this place. I'm locked up in this place, and then they're talking about this kid.
I was gonna say, if you want to talk about being locked up in a place, can I run my the Batman what I want to happen with you, Joker, in that when the next one comes out? Because what I really personally want to happen is for you and the Penguin to go mano a mano for control of Gotham more than anything. That's what I want in the Batman series.
And that's a pretty good way to go too.
Right? Penguin gang versus Joker gang?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Damn. That's a good idea.
That could be something.
Well, I love the Penguin. No offense. No offense. I love the Penguin, and I love finally getting Mob Boss Penguin. I'm like, well, Joker's already got some people. Something.
This Penguin. Yes. Not 92.
Well, I mean, but I do love Mob Boss Penguin. I'm glad we got him. But I'm
Mob
like,
Boss Penguin, I could have a drink with.
Well, let's talk about Mob Boss Penguin for a minute. The fact that they took Colin Farrell and made him look like how he looked, that was phenomenal.
Oh my God. I was so happy. I was so happy because when they first announced Colin Farrell and then I saw the trailer, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And then I was just like, and I love Colin Farrell, but I was like, really? What are we doing here? And God, he was great. He was so great. But I was like, oh, Joker's obviously from people we saw painted up. He's already had an influence in this city. So
yeah,
who's taking over the crime side now? Well, the organized crime part. I'm like, oh, we got Penguin. We need them to square off. I want them to square off more, and then Batman being like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do out here.
And then what I think would be a even better way of doing that, and this is my own personal opinion, have the two groups fighting and Batman just sitting back, letting them do what they need to do, and then they kill somebody. Right, but then they kill somebody that he's close with, and then he has no choice but to get involved.
Yeah, because what choice do you make when you're like, well, it's this guy and it's this guy? Why should I really care if they're going at each other?
Oh yeah.
That's just.
I'm there for that.
Batman. This is how he.
Are you guys excited for Joker 2?
You know what? Believe it or not, and this is going to be a shock for a lot of people. I am a Lady Gaga fan, so I'm excited.
I mean, I love her. I think she's great. I think she is a fine actress. What I worry about is, we all love Margot Robbie so much that I thought we should have had a little bit of breathing room. Is all. Not that Lady Gaga would be horrible.
No,
but then
she was great in American Horror Story.
Well, my thing is, okay, how do we make this a musical? Okay, so when they think they're totally normal, I'm assuming it's going to be poppy and colorful, and they're going to be like, we're living fine. And then the regular world's going to be like, no, we're not. So I totally expect them getting a singer.
The musical thing, the aspect of the musical, it's just going to be all in their heads. It's not going to be like, not going to be like you're watching a musical show where they're all going to be singing. It's going to be like in their heads.
Oh,
while murder is happening, It's kind of like a Mickey and Mallory thing they're gonna do.
And honestly, that's a really great concept if it's executed well.
Well, see, how about this one? Take a little bit of what Joker just said. What if the whole movie plays out how it's just supposed to be a normal movie, and then all of a sudden at the end, Joker's in Arkham Asylum, and it's all in his head?
Oh my God. Now, let me ask you this. Do you want her to still be like therapist version
Yes.
at the end? And
Yes.
being like, okay, okay,
Yes.
that, oh, and honestly, I would love that because we haven't seen that on the big screen. We haven't seen her being Dr. Harley Quinn yet. So that would be really cool, honestly.
Oh
I
yeah.
like
I think he's gonna be shock treated before maybe the third movie. He'll be altered like what I'm doing today. You know, 'cause I went through that. So I'm telling you what I know, what I see.
well, thank you for your insight.
Unfortunately, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, my favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie is Walk the Line.
I can see that, but I'm just a gladiator freak.
That was a
And
good movie.
comedy fan. I mean, comedy. And when he got announced for Joker, I was like, no, that's my boy. But it's the little things he always does when he's in the Senate spinning
The
the sword, when
one
he's just doing
movie,
little stuff. I was like, he'll be a great Joker.
the one movie
Uh,
the one movie that you have to see was the underrated one. It went straight to video. Um, what was it called again? It was a road cover. It's the title of this movie. But he was really, really
Clay Pigeons.
no.
That was a good movie too, though.
He
I was
was
gonna say to
really
bring it back to horror, and I do feel like this is really I feel like it got knocked when it came out, but I really like it. And I stand by, I think it's one of the most beautifully done movies, is The Village.
Oh yeah. Uh,
He's in that.
I'm the type of person. I'm glad you said that. I'm the type of person that I don't get surprised at the end of movies. But when she climbed over that wall, and I'm like, I was pissed off because I couldn't
Yeah.
get that ending. So I was like, okay, I get it.
No, I remember people were real mad. My sister was pissed. I remember we all went to see it and she was like, this is dumb. And then I rewatch it now and I'm like, I kind of dig this. But then
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, isn't that kind of what people are trying to do now? And they're like, I want to go live on a homestead. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
you want to live? Okay, okay. But
executed. It was brilliant.
Well,
but
before
it like visually, it's so pretty to look at. And then I'm like, there's a couple hiccups here.
oh
But I
yeah.
still like the village.
You know what that reminded me of? That ending to that movie?
Huh.
You know what it reminded me of? This is you have to be a British fan. Do you remember the movie The Holy Grail? Anyone?
Yeah.
That ending.
Monty Python.
Yeah.
Only part I remember about that movie is the
Oh,
bridge
the
scene.
ending.
I'm
The
sorry.
ending, you thought it was going to be this big epic battle.
Or the bat or the rabbit scene.
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, no, the big epic battle, and all of a sudden the cops broke it up. Everybody got arrested.
Yeah.
But they nailed it. See, they nailed it.
So
But
it was like, what is this? You thought you were gonna watch some Braveheart
yeah.
shit.
All right.
But that's what that movie, The Village, reminded me of. She jumped
Now,
over and she saw the city.
let me ask you guys this. What are your movies that you have to watch at Halloween time?
Seasons of the Witch is mine.
Thank you. I was waiting for that is so underrated.
I
You're
could do you.
agreeing with me.
I could do you one better. I'll show you what I watch every Halloween season. Doesn't necessarily have to be on Halloween.
Which one are we reaching for? There's ones I have. Is it Salem's Lot?
Demons
Demons. Okay.
and Demons 2.
Okay. So those are the ones like that's what I mean. Like, say you're busy all Halloween season. You don't even get to decorate. But when you have to watch at least one or two. I think mine would have to be I have to watch Scream. I have to watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah.
Those
I
are
have to
good
watch-
movies, but Halloweenish. I think you would just go for Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons.
Oh.
Classic movie. This is not even half my collection, but I have a lot of horror movies.
Oh, I believe it. Um, mm, I'm trying to
What?
think. I'm like, now this one's kind of a funny movie, and I talk about it constantly, all the time. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Is The Burbs?
Oh yeah.
Do you know The Burbs?
Oh
It's
yeah.
what people think, and I'm just like, if you guys don't want to watch something scary, watch The Burbs. It is my favorite thing.
Malachi is in it.
Yep.
Children of the
Malachi from
Corn.
Children of the Corn.
Oh,
With the
my
ring.
sister just named my nephew Malachi, and I was like, "Did you?" I immediately called. I was like, "Did you think you were getting something past me?" And she was like, and I was like, "You really were gonna give this kid a Stephen King related name?" She's like, "That's not what it is," and I was like, "It is now."
Yeah.
Actually, when I met Courtney Gaines, what's funny because I go to all these conventions and I, meet them all. When I met Courtney Gaines, he said that when he was doing that movie, that all the kids and everybody all had such a tight schedule that when they were filming, they were only able to film different parts at different times because of the schooling and the
It
parenting
Oh,
was
and stuff.
Charles Law.
So, but he said that when the end product was done, they showed the movie, the very first screening in that town that they filmed in, and nowhere else. So they all that entire town got a sneak preview, and he said that
that's
it came.
cool.
Oh yeah, it to me. Children of the Corn is always going to be one of the classics. But
I,
can you really
I mean,
go
did you
wrong
like the
with
new
Stephen King?
one?
Huh? Which one?
You like the new one?
No.
Here's my thing.
No. There were
See,
parts that I thought they were doing, but I'm a Stephen King freak. I'm like a Dark Tower freak, everything. So I'm like, there's some things you're doing here,
Let me ask you this.
but what's going on?
Let me ask you this.
best scene was a bat scene where they busted old boy in his face.
Besides that, let me ask you this. And you probably have the same mind as I do. Now, you're a kid. You got these parents in the jail cell. You got them where you want. You got a plug in there. You're going to poison them. Why did you take those people out, put them in a hole, and the lump of dirt? That's a
Well,
crater.
let's get real too. Why wouldn't we just help each other out of the hole?
Yeah.
It's a crater. The one truck
And
of
then I'd be laying out
dirt.
children.
Then why let you out? It's probably a hard time putting you in there. I know I got locked up. You know how many people I cut with this pencil before they put me in
Right,
there? Now, these
right.
are
Oh my
kids.
God.
You're
Oh
gonna
my, and
kill
you want
me. I don't care who you kill. Don't stop.
Well,
No.
here's the thing.
I look at things different now. That movie that balls
yeah.
on the bottom then. Doesn't
No, I
deserve
thought
to
that was
belong.
weird too.
Here's the thing. Most remakes will never live up to the original.
No.
Got nothing to do with the original. It's just that it sucked.
Right. But I can name one remake that is just as good, if not a little bit better. Dawn of the Dead.
Ooh. Ooh.
But yeah, they had to up
Okay.
the running after you. That's fine.
Like if a zombie's shambling toward me, okay, I'm going to walk a little bit faster. If a zombie's running toward me, I'm out of shape. I'm dead meat. So,
Period. No
No,
offense.
I'm trying to think like, okay, I don't know about better because I don't think I maybe like almost on par with would be the new Fright Night.
I would
Maybe.
agree to a point.
There's two of
But
them.
Chris Sarandon is so good in that I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And that has such iconic
Are you talking about?
practical.
Are you talking about Colin Farrell or the one with the girl? Because they made two of them.
Yeah,
Isn't there
she
the
said
Colin Farrell one?
No, I said which one?
I thought that one was all right. I thought they did a good job with it, but that original one, there are things in
Oh,
that that I forgot scarred me.
oh yeah. Actually, believe it or not,
there's two versions of the Fright Night. Not one and two. They did a remake, and they did another Fright Night.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't on board with that.
It's a woman. She's Italian.
This is the second one. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
yeah.
I just watched it, and it was so weird. And I was like, Peter Vincent, what are you doing here? Stop this. Oh my God. No, but the first one is so creepy and good, and Chris Sarandon is so good in it. And then I watched the new one with Colin Farrell, and I was like, they tried, and it's good. It's not awful. It's not And that's
Yeah.
kind of the bar we have now. Is like,
And he was up in his fame at the time, so they had to put a pretty guy.
Well, see, what I like is with the remake, the one with Colin Farrell, they changed it up a little bit because vampires can't come into your house unless you invite them.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna explode your house, and I ain't got nothing. So I'm like,
Right. Geez, bud. Thanks a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I've been on a real vampire kick this season, I feel like. And I always watch Salem's Lot, the original one. I don't care how
It's
ridiculous
good.
that gets. It's great, but there's parts of it where I'm like, what was,
I wish
I don't
they
know.
used
It was a
Barlow
TV
more.
movie.
Barlow was a selling point. Why do they only use him in like 2 scenes, maybe 3 if that?
Well,
There's a lot of people in that.
if we're talking vampire movies, John Carpenter's Vampires with James Woods is a good movie.
Oh,
I
yeah. I
won't.
haven't watched that in years.
Oh yeah,
Dalek?
I will never compare it to anything else because it's its own movie. You know, but
See, like, I know people hate on Bram Stoker's, but I really love it a lot. But I
oh yeah,
rewatched that, and some of the when he turns into rats is
oh
creepy.
yeah,
I don't know who said put Keanu Reeves in a white wig at the end because he just I don't know what was going on there. I don't know whose decision that was, but that looked rough. But when he turned into rats, when he turns into that beast, like that stuff still is really scary looking. I forgot about it, and I was like, oh
I
my
love
God.
that scene he was.
is it
And he's
me?
crawling down the wall. It's
Oh yeah,
still, I don't care. I can know it's coming. I don't, it doesn't matter how old I am. I'm like, that is creepy. And I don't like it.
oh yeah. Is it me? And this is definitely going to show my age, but is it me or when he became the Beast, did that not remind you of that movie Meriden?
What movie?
Meriden. It's got Sherilyn Fenn in it where she's in love with this person, but winds up he's a kind of like a werewolf thing, and she finds out and still wants to be with them. And it's a horror movie, but it's a love horror movie.
Jeez.
Okay.
You
No,
know,
you'll have to send me that title. I'll definitely check it out though. Speaking of weird horror movies, because I wrote some down where I was like, what are some of the jams that me and my siblings watched that we were like, what is this? And one of those, it might be better than I remember, but all I remember is weird things happening is Sleepwalkers.
oh, that was a
Oh,
great movie.
Is it
that's
great?
good.
Because all I remember is some mom son stuff happening.
There was some.
Oh, yeah, minus that, but the rest of the movie was
That
great.
happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I watched that way too young, by the way, because I remember being like, something about this is not right.
Oh yeah. I know that what's funny is like when you take movies like that and then you throw in that the things of like the relationship between the mom and the son, it kind of takes away from the movie because that's what most people are going to start. Hey, I associate that with that.
Right. And I feel like that same thing happened because I'm like a Guillermo del Toro freak. And I feel like the same thing happened with Shape of Water. Like I dragged my friend an hour away to the only theater playing it, and she was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "I don't want to hear it. It's beautiful." And I get also being right in front of a Game of Thrones poster. I got a lot of nerve talking about weird family love.
Well, let all right. Before I go on, I'm going to say I've seen all of your Game of Thrones videos.
Oh my God, thank you so much because I sound like a lunatic. I think I'm a lunatic.
Yeah. Oh, next time we do an episode, the Night King will be here.
Oh my God, stop. That is awesome. No, I am a freak about I'm a Game of Thrones freak. And sometimes I'm just like, Abby, you make no sense. People are gonna think you're a lunatic. You need to stop. Oh my God, no, I do. I love it. I do love it a lot though. And I do think the Night King kind of got shafted, but
Oh yeah.
that's mine.
He got cheated.
See, here's the thing. So my wife watched season 1 of
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Sorry, it's flipping my
I
mind.
was gonna say, are you trying to say House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. I was thinking House of Dragon. She hasn't seen that one, but Game of Thrones. She watched the first season and she was like, "This is a good show." And she's sitting right there, so she could testify. But she's
Yeah.
like, "This is a good show." I was like, "I'm not really into the knights and kings and stuff like that."
Okay.
But then she goes, "It's got nudity." I was like, "Okay, I'm sold." So
No,
then,
In the future, or in the next life, that's going to be our wedding theme.
it's gonna be our what? Sorry, you cut out on me.
Our wedding theme. Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's gonna be our wedding.
It should be. It should be. The Reigns of Castamere.
I will say though, with Game of Thrones, and we got about 7 minutes left. So if you want to do
Ooh,
another episode,
sorry.
Oh no, you're good. If you want to do another episode right after this, we ain't got nothing.
Oh, I'm down.
But speaking of Game of Thrones, toward the end, I think they rushed that entire last season.
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh no, I've seen your videos.
Because no, I'll let you guys in on something, and I need to perfect it because I did them a long time ago, and now that I have a better rhythm and stuff, I need to redo them. I think there's 3 things they could have done that wouldn't have fixed it, but it would have salvaged it. And one of those was, yeah, it was super rushed. If they would have had literally just one episode in between leaving Winterfell and getting to King's Landing of just like Arya and the Hound together again, and just literally give us our fan service because we know we're not going to get that at the end. Let us see these people come together. Let us see them all and give us our little bit of happy fan moment. And then let's get back into it. And I'm like,
Brian should have went with the guy with the beard. Brian should have he was crying for her. Perfect. You thought
the Cersei Jamie stuff? No.
She couldn't have turned to a bag out of a drop of a hat.
I was furious.
And if that was true, they should. Snow wouldn't have survived. Those guys would have killed him.
Snow did die. They brought him back.
No, I mean when he killed the girl, they should have killed him.
Well, see, here's the thing.
As much as that's realistically, let's think.
Yeah, no.
She flew off with a dragon. Fuck, sorry.
No, you're okay. Believe me, you're okay. It gets my blood boiling. Here's my thing. I don't know if you guys did you guys read the books or do you remember the old knight who shows up to Daenerys, not Jorah?
Yeah, the other one. Yes.
Barristan? Okay, that's all he ever wanted. He talked smack to Jamie about being the Kingslayer. All he ever wanted was to be the most honorable knight. He ran across the world to find her. He should have offed her. He should have watched King's Landing burn and went, my whole life is a lie. And then I became the Queenslayer, the one thing I've been talking smack about since season 1. And I'm like, you let Barristan get offed in an alley, and I'm pissed.
Oh yeah.
That's the one that I'm like, no, because we just didn't. I mean, Kit Harington married Ygritte in real life. Like, the chemistry was there. We didn't get the chemistry with him and Emilia Clarke. They're great, but we didn't feel that. What, you took a boat ride? Cool. Like,
not only that, but he looked so freaking uncomfortable in every scene they were in.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no chemistry. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was just like, we're here to work.
But I will say this, and then if you guys want to come back or whatever we're going to do, I did like the Hard Home episode, to bring it back to Halloween time, when it shifted into total zombie go down. When he lifted his arms up and everybody got up, that was sick. That was awesome. That was such a cool thing.
You definitely got to see the King.
Oh yeah, my wife gets mad at me because when we watch Game of Thrones, I always go right back to Hard Home.
Oh yeah.
I'll just watch that episode and be like, I got my Game of Thrones fixed.
Right. No, it's great. It's great. I'm like that with certain episodes where I'm like, I'll start over, and then I'm like, no, I won't. I'm gonna skip right to these couple. That's what's gonna happen.
Last month I binged through all of it, and the last 2 episodes, I was out.
I skipped. I'm out.
And then little man narked on his friend. They got cooked.
True.
I didn't.
And then, I mean, there's lots of things I could say about Game of Thrones, but I will save it. But I'm like, I'm trying to think of. Oh, let's talk about this though, real quick. Do you guys have any like not Halloween themed, but like Christmas themed horror films you like, off the top of your head?
Krampus.
Oh, Krampus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Part 2.
Because you got 2 in 1.
So this gentleman right here.
I have them somewhere.
So we are personal friends with Eric Freeman.
Stop. That's awesome. Stop it.
off the screen, if you like. I'll text you. Give a number. I'll send you pictures.
No, well, we're definitely all going to exchange info for sure. That is so cool. I thought nobody knew what Silent Night, Deadly Night. What my sister a long time ago went through a whole holiday season kick that and rare exports, which
Oh yeah.
was you guys are the only people I've ever heard say you know what that is. She went through this huge kick. I have a whole like drawer of like Christmas themed horror movies. I'm like, oh my gosh, does anybody know what these are? But I was gonna ask you guys. I was like, do you know what Silent Night, Deadly Night is? And
Once
that
in a great while, I watched 4.
there's
The
4.
Initiation.
Yeah, there's
got,
4.
I need to get back on my Silent Night, Deadly Night
They
game.
got 6 parts.
Jeez, man, I love a good Christmas horror thing. It makes me happy.
Skip 3, skip 5, and skip the remake. 1, 2, and 4.
Well, we got
what's part 2 and 4?
we got about 2 minutes left of this one. We will be right back. We're gonna do another episode like immediately after this.
I'll take them.
Okay.
He's gonna get freshened up.
I was gonna say I might need like a moment to freshen up and then I'm good. Honestly, do you guys want me to be real with you? The reason I keep leaning off is because I'm like, I'm gonna get made fun of. I'm drinking out of a 2-liter.
Hey,
So I'm just gonna go have like a cup, like so I'm not an animal on screen. That's cool.
hey, you know what? Do what you do. Be who
real.
you are. We don't
Oh my
judge
God.
here.
No
And thank you
judgment
guys
here.
again for having me on for real. I really appreciate that because I just feel like I'm screaming at the void of insanity a lot.
Hey, you're more than welcome to come on the show anytime you want.
No, I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And like I said, once I get better with technology, I'd love to have you guys on YouTube. I just don't know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. So what I'm gonna do is right after this episode, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll give you a couple minutes so you guys can change and do what you need to do.
It takes a lot to do this, Josh. It takes a lot.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, this is scary for me, so I'm good. But I'll end it right here. I'll say actually, you know what, Abby, go ahead and close out this episode.
I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds, and I'm on YouTube and other stuff, and Abby Anarchy and everything else. And I want to thank the NC-17 podcast for having me on.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you.
I think we're all just crazy.
Oh yeah.
Comment down below.
There you go.
Comment down below, like the video. It's free and it helps everybody out.
There you go. We'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna end this right now.